feed through my skull.
The enemy.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Double kill.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Monster kill.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Hi guys, Lesley just got an incredible buff in the latest update. Now, she can finally live up to her name for being a sniper assassin. Previously, her passive damage has a limit and her energy regen is really slow. That was why everyone gave up on playing her as a burst marksman, but went for a classic critical attack speed build that is common for most OG marksmen in the game. After playing many matches with the new Lesley, I realized it is a lot more better to stop building the classic build and go for the new assassin burst build. One thing that makes her different from our ordinary marksman is that her passive can increase the base attack damage by 120%. And with that being said, when using the burst assassin build, her passive can be utilized to its maximum potential. I will show you a side-by-side comparison to let you know why I prefer the burst build more.
I'm neither the hungry wolf nor the sacrificial lamb.
As you can clearly see, the burst Lesley killed Zilong faster, but it took a little bit more time for the other Lesley to do it. The small difference might seem insignificant here, but in an actual game, a slight difference in timing matters. The good thing about the burst build is that the target's armor takes effect lesser times due to lesser hits, whereas for the common build, every hit's damage is reduced by the target's armor stats. Considering they already increase the crit chance in the passive, you don't have to rely on critical items too much but focus more on raw damage in one hit. This is why I would highly recommend you all to use this new build. Also, the max point in crit damage for the second row will make it as if a passive damage decrease becomes non-existent.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
If you end up enjoying this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel.
Smash them. All troops deployed.
I would normally start with a pair of common boots, then proceed with prioritizing 2 javelins, and then Berserker's Fury before I complete my CDR boots. In case you are wondering why I didn't choose Swift boots, I simply prefer using this when using the burst build, because your skill 1 becomes ready almost all the time. Normally, Lesley wouldn't have a problem in her laning phase except against Brody or Clean based on my experience. When up against Beatrix or Nathan, she can do pretty fine thanks to the buffs, as long as you play safely. As for some weaker marksmen in the early game like who I was facing here, I'm supposed to be able to play more aggressively and win the lane with ease.
I feel the rush when the crosshairs on you.
Unfortunately, my ping suddenly became unstable when I tried to play aggressively against Mia, so I had no choice but to back off. Because of that, Mia was lucky to have an upper hand in the early game.
Initiate retreat.
Faster than a speeding bullet? No way.
A few moments later.
There's nowhere to hide.
By the way, these are the settings I use every time I play Lesley when using the burst build. Smart targeting for base attack is a must.
I feel the rush when the crosshairs on you. It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh. Faster than a speeding bullet? No way.
I wasn't really into killing her. As long as I could zone her out so she can't farm the minion waves, it will be good enough for me.
One shot is all it takes.
An ally has slain the turtle. An ally an enemy has been slain. Beware of ambush.
Here, I should have retreated instead of continue attacking Mia because I already got a lot of turret gold, which means plenty of time has already passed.
Beware of ambush.
There's nowhere to hide once you're within my range.
Well, serve me right I guess. Tiger has already warned me twice in a row. This is why you should always pay attention to the minimap and also the signals your teammates send out.
One shot is all it takes.
Oof, that was so close. Regardless, I forced her to retreat which was already good.
No way. I feel the rush when the crosshairs on you. It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh. Take.
Our core was trying to take the turtle, so I'm just gonna provide some vision.
Initiate retreat. An ally has slain the turtle.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Initiate retreat.
There's nowhere to hide once you're within my range.
Beware of the ambush.
Jungler was nearby, so I thought we could get another kill.
Ult is not ready.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Too bad his arrow went a little too quickly, so I didn't even manage to get an assist. After my lane's enemy turret got destroyed, it's time to rotate to the turtle lane to help my team contest it.
Good game.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Just look at the damage on the tank with just so few items. It doesn't matter if Lesley can benefit from penetration items.
Request backup.
One shot is all it takes.
As you can see, I'm prioritizing Blade of Despair after getting Endless Battle. The sequence here is important in order to be a one-shot marksman assassin.
I feel the rush when the crosshairs on you.
Although I'm doing quite well, my teammates are being dominated at the opposite lane, while none of the enemy's lives was traded in exchange.
There's nowhere
Regardless,
to hide
since
once
they were
you're
so
within
distracted
my
there,
range.
might as well continue farming and pushing this lane. There's no way I could have helped them since they were so far away.
Our turret has been destroyed.
Just using my orb to check if anyone was camping at my escape path.
Our turret.
I feel the rush when the crosshairs on you.
Beware of the ambush.
When playing as a tank, it's important to assess the situation before trying to lock someone down. There's no point in doing so when none of your teammates are nearby to help you.
Your flesh.
In case you didn't see how I kill Eudora, here's the replay. This is something you cannot do when using the usual build. It would have taken at least 2 to 3 hits at this minute. Since my tank was ready to back me up, I had no fear of doing some risky plays. In case you're wondering why I used my ult and cancel it immediately, it was for 2 reasons. 1. It regenerates my energy for me to use my first skill. 2. It enhances my next base attack, so I can drop my passive once more. I'm pinging him to retreat. Even though I do a lot of damage now, I'm still a glass cannon. If only he waited for me to come closer
One
before
shot
attacking
is all
Karina,
it takes.
we could have shut down her.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
You can always press your ult to detect if there are enemies near you when your team wasn't near you to provide vision.
I feel the rush.
Just
when
look at the damage.
crosshairs on
Just
you.
one hit and Mia was close to death.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Monster kill. You destroyed a turret. An ally has slain Lord. Our turret is under attack. Our turret has initiated retreat.
Oops, I didn't notice our minions die so quickly and it was time to retreat. Please nerf the new turret ability. Anyway, in order to redeem myself from that mistake, I'm going to show you some epic highlights.
Meets your flesh.
she didn't have Wind of Nature, she's dead already.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Oh, hell no!
The team destroyed a turret.
I feel the rush when the crosshairs on you.
Initiate retreat.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
At first, I wanted to get Wind of Nature, but since most of their heroes deal magic damage, I thought Athena's shield would be a better option.
It's all over when the bullet meets your flesh. There's nowhere to hide if you're within my range.
At the late game, it's better to let your marksman take the red part, especially when you already have one.
I feel the rush all over when the bullet meets your flesh.
Ally has slain Lord. Launch attack.
Faster than a speeding bullet?
Team destroyed a turret.
No way.
Team
All over when the
destroyed
bullet meets your flesh.
destroyed the turret. An enemy has been slain. Unstoppable. Thank you. Victory!
As you can see, the burst build melts the enemy HP almost instantly before they could even react. Given the amazing passive scaling, it's better to be an actual sniper with burst damage rather than being a pew pew gunner who close his sniper but does the exact same thing as any other MM. That's all for the Assassin Lesley gameplay. She might not have the mobility of an actual assassin, but when it comes to damage, her burst capability is even higher than her melee counterpart, which is Natalia. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thanks.